This is my first time here in Gabon. Being here feels like something deeper than travel. It feels like coming back to something that was always a part of me. The people, the land, the culture. There is a connection here that cannot be explained, only felt. I hope others will take this journey too, to learn, to reconnect, and to understand who they are. So please come and join us on February the 22nd. That is Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so that we can talk and reconnect and learn more about Gabon, its history, people, and culture.
Once again, thank you once again, all of you, for being here. So my name is Francis Bivigu. I'm a researcher living in Gabon, but also a businessman. And I am somebody who was brought up outside of Gabon, and I decided to come back to Gabon because I think there's so many things that need to be done. Gabon is really developing very, very fast and is in need of a lot of resources and also a lot of expertise. So I came back to Gabon to live in Gabon because I think that I can make the difference and I can help Gabon in my own way make progress. And yes, so I've been one of the promoters of this group, and I'm very happy to see this group get larger and bigger. Uh, and yeah, I think that's about it for me.
Perfect. My name is Kevin Harrelson. I'm one of the Afro-descendants that we're talking about, born in America, and I had an opportunity to go to Gabon in 2024, and I look forward to being able to go back there. And I'll speak a little more about my journey a little bit later, but I am also a businessman. I have my own business. I'm also working for other places. I have a few YouTube channels, one of them called Learning About Africa, where I will probably edit and place this for others to be able to see this later on. I have Until Reparations Comes, I have one for food and other YouTube channels. I'm also a writer. If you can see back behind me, I wrote this book called The Pancakes That Saved the World. So I'm kind of a Renaissance man. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Next.
Kevin, can you call the next person?
Uh, I hear some feedback coming in.
Yeah, can we like tune off our microphones, please?
If you're not speaking or hosting, turn off your microphone. But you should probably introduce yourself just as well as one of the participants, and then Jean.
Hello, everybody. My name is Just Silvano Bonavile. I was born and raised in Gabon. I would say I'm a geographic engineer, so I like to talk about geography, and then also I like to talk about culture, to know where I come from, know people. Uh, yes, I've been I've been in many projects about cultural exchanges. So yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Thank you, Just. Next, Jean.
Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Jean Ngo. I am tenured professor at Kent State University. I'm a biologist. I was born and raised in Gabon. But beside, doing research and teaching as my day job, I'm also an entrepreneur doing in construction. I also own an organization called Ikaza Bridging the Gap. I will have the chance and the opportunity to tell you a little more extensively about Ikaza Bridging the Gap. I joined this group by invitation, had a conversation with Francis and Just, and eventually bumped into Kevin, who had a long conversation. And I'm excited to be here.
Thank you, Jean. Next on the list, Christian. Hervé, sorry, Christian. Hervé, go ahead.
Thank you, Francis. Hello, everyone, and happy to see the group again after a long time, I think. So, my name is Hervé Roland Mumiage. I'm from Gabon and Gabonese researcher. And at the same time, I'm trying to build the bridge between a researcher in Gabon and United States. So, I'm trying to spend some time here, some time in Gabon. And my field of interest is mostly how can we develop Africa by using their natural resource, but at the same time thinking at a long term. How can what we call sometimes sustainable development. And except that the other way of my interest is ecotourism. How can we bring more people in Gabon, mostly in Central Africa, particularly in Gabon, to visit our beautiful landscape biodiversity. So it's between research and application and business that I'm interested in. Thank you and looking forward.
Thank you. Christian.
Hello, everybody. Bonjour. My name is Christian Kane. I am professionally, I'm a physician and surgeon at the University of Maryland Shock Trauma Center. And in addition to what I do clinically as an academic, my research focuses are within health equity and acute care surgery, also establishment of public health measures, particularly in the areas of violence intervention. I'm one of the Afro-descendants. My journey here was through invitation as well. And I'm just looking forward to the community, engaging the community that's here.
Thank you very much, Christian. Next on the list, I have Ken.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ken. I'm a wellness coach. So very simple. I help people get to Oh, my camera is not on. Let me see. Yeah. So I help people get to 100, look like 40, and feel like 20. So I'm very interested about health and nutrition. And here's my daughter. And I was invited to the group thanks to Just, and I met Kevin as well, and also Hervé. We live in the same town. Also with Ahmed, have a lot of relation. I'm very happy to know all the rest of the group. And also I'm very interested about Africa, about our roots, and I love to travel. And so I recently went to Janga, which is a very nice historical place for Gabon, and took some pictures. So very excited to be here. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Ken. I'll go to Philibert. Je vais t'aider. Yes. Oui, Philibert, je vais t'aider. Ton micro est éteint. She does not.
Sorry, did you say Nicole?
No, Philibert.
Oh, I thought you said. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, Nicole. I'll be in a moment. Now, Philibert, faut mettre ton micro. Ton micro n'est pas activé.
She has to unmute.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Okay.
Yeah, voilà, Philibert.
Désolé, j'étais en train de parler, j'avais pas vu que c'était pas activé.
Donc, si tu peux.
Ok. Alors, hello everybody. My name is Philippe Bongo. Je vais continuer en français. Alors, je suis Je suis directrice d'une agence de tourisme à Mayamukini et je travaille en étroite collaboration avec la Fondation Philibert Bongo Ayuma. Et je pense que Francis va faire une présentation de la Fondation plus tard. Donc pour l'instant, voilà. Je suis Philibert
Voilà.
Bongo. Voilà.
So Philibert is owner of a travel agency, and she's also in very straight collaboration with the Bongo Ayuma Foundation. And so she says that I'm going to talk about the foundation a little bit later on, but she's very happy to be here. So Nicole?
Sorry, now, did you say I'm sorry.
Yep.
Yes.
Sorry. Hello, I am happy to be here. I'm happy to meet all of you. I am a friend and colleague of Sigrid, who invited me to this meeting. I'm very excited about the possibility of visiting Gabon in 2027. My work focuses on Black fatherhood, at least my kind of dissertation that I'm turning into a book, but I've also kind of branched into doing work with Sigrid around environmental precarity and resilience amongst Senegalese elder women. And very excited to kind of pursue that research this summer in Senegal. I have been kind of living back and forth between Senegal and the United States for the past 10 years. Yeah. And I have a nonprofit in Senegal. I bring scholars, artists, writers to Senegal for immersion programs. Yeah, happy to be here. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Nicole. Sigrid? Hello, Sigrid. Are you there? Okay, Sigrid is not there. Ahmed, could you take the floor?
I'm here. Sorry.
Okay, Sigrid. Yes, just waiting.
Sorry, I'm trying to log on from my phone, so it's trying to embarrass me on a Sunday morning. But I'm Sigrid, and I am from Gabon. I was born and raised in Gabon. I'm also a researcher and a teacher. I am a faculty at Sacramento State University along with Nicole. I am an environmental epidemiologist, mostly focusing on issues of air and noise pollution and the impact on human health, mostly in low income and minority communities. And recently, like Nicole mentioned, we've been working on climate change, environmental justice, adaptation among older women in Senegal. But Senegal is just a starting point because hopefully this summer we'll be leading a study abroad program that we both co-developed in Senegal. And the plan is to have the same format next year, summer 2027 in Gabon. So I thought that would be good for Nicole to join this group so that we can start making those connections, because I know we'll definitely be working with the group and, the agency to see how we can make that work. So this is me. Thank you.
Thank you, Sigrid. Ahmed.
Yes, I'm just gonna keep it very short here. So, hello everyone. So my name is Ahmed Zibari, and I'm originally from Burkina Faso. So I've been in the US for about 18 years, lived in Oregon for about 17. So I've met Kevin through Just, who is very close to him, and Hervé, as well as Francis, and almost the whole team. So I recently moved to California a few months ago. Loved it. I know Kevin just moved out, but this is a great place, especially the weather. So I've been part of this group since the beginning, although I've been on and off at some times, but I'm glad to be back here and be able to assist for any mission you guys have.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much, Ahmed. So I don't think I've forgotten anybody. Is there, no? There was nobody else there. So once again, thank you all for being here. You see, all the people that are in this meeting have one thing in common: the fact that we want to develop Africa, we want to develop Gabon particularly, and the only way Gabon, African Gabon can develop itself is by reuniting all those that are out of Gabon, out of Africa, and all those that are in Gabon. And so this project and this group started off with three types of Africans: those that live in the US, that have left their country, that were born and bred in Africa, but have gone to the US and have been living there for many years. We have a lot of them that are there, 18 years, 20 years. Afro-descendants that are looking for their roots, and we have a good example of them here also, these Afro-descendants that want to know more about where they come from. They want to know what they can do, because a lot of them have given a lot of their energy and a lot of their expertise to the United States. And seeing how Africa today is struggling to develop, these Afro-descendants want to go back to their roots and be able to also participate in Africa's development. And then the last type of people is like me and Philibert, who are in Gabon, who we've been brought up in outside of Gabon, but we have decided to come back to Gabon. But we still have this link with the outside, this link with the diaspora. So we think that we came back, even though Gabon is very difficult. We have a lot of problems, to power cuts, etc., etc., etc. But we feel the need to help and to make the difference by staying in Gabon. And so this vision and this group was created by these three types of people. And it's been about two or 3 years that we've been working on how we can bridge the gap, how we can make things move. We want also to the diaspora to understand that even if they have settled in the US or outside, they still need to have a foot in Africa, a foot in Gabon, and we don't want them to move from where they are to here, but regularly come back, like Jean does, come back regularly and see what is needed and go back and bring what is needed to Gabon. So we're thinking our interests are pretty simple. It's really having all these people visit Gabon, Africa, by starting by Gabon, obviously. Connecting people, very important, because it's important. The networking is what is very important to bring all the expertise that is needed. And to be able to undergo our vision, we need tools, we need people. And this is the reason why we have three foundations that have joined forces to be able to do things more rationally and more professionally and in a better way. And we have three foundations that are joining together to be able to go and to undergo our projects. It's the AfriBridge Foundation, ECASA, and the Bongo Ayuma Foundation, and every foundation has its particularity, but we're all together to make things move. So the objective of this first, we've had other meetings, we've been meeting up, and we've been doing a lot of things for the last 2 years. There was a little silence for a few months because everybody was a bit busy, but now we want to be able to develop, and to develop we need to have more and more people that are interested and that join the group, because more we have people, more we'll be able to obtain our results and really bridge the gap. So this is the first of many meetings, but we're going to start having regularly these meetings. And please, everybody should at least bring 1 or 2 person more at the next meeting, so that we continue building interest, we continue networking, and we continue really having results on the ground, which is here in Gabon. So I'm going to give the floor to Kevin, who's going to talk a little bit about his experience. And Kevin, obviously, he's one of these people, the persons who was at the very beginning, and that motivated us also to do, because he had this hunger for his mother land, and he had this real enthusiasm in knowing more about Gabon and knowing what his ancestors were exactly. So I'm going to give the floor to Kevin. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Francis. So, for most of my life, Africa was an idea, a place I knew existed inside my blood, but not inside my daily reality. So, we spent 3 years searching for the truth of our ancestry. We tested our DNA, we worked with genealogists, and we followed every path we could to find what we discovered changed us. We learned that our ancestral home is in Gabon, that our roots trace to the Fang and Bantu people, and that our story here in America was a chapter to a much larger story. So we went to Gabon to uncover more. We honor our foundations here in America, but knowing origins is powerful. So knowing where our ancestry comes from is one of the things, but getting there is another. So everything we read about warned us not to go. The media painted Gabon as dangerous, unsafe, a place to avoid. But our spirit kept calling us to something deeper, and it called us forward, where in a very small little shop in Eugene, I met a man from Kenya who introduced me to Just. He was from Gabon, but had been living in Eugene with his family for years. So we started, and we are separated by some 30 years in age, but we had the same vision. And so he introduced me to Francis, who is in Gabon, and he builds businesses, as he mentioned earlier, restoring land from damaged mines, or damaged land from mines, I should say, providing medical equipment, creating opportunity where infrastructure is still growing. That was the moment this changed from being a discovery to becoming a possible destination. And I began to realize this is going to be more than a vacation, and quickly became the first rail of a building, the first rail in building a bridge between those of us in the diaspora and those who never left. And it's all about creating pathways for people to return safe in a safe way, confidently, and with purpose. And it's about working with local communities, building infrastructure, creating jobs, supporting local leadership, strengthening economic independence. It's not about tourism, it's about restoration. At least to me, it is. And we live in a time when outside forces still try to control African resources, African narratives, African futures. But we also live in a time where those of us in the diaspora have skills, knowledge, and resources to offer as we rebuild with our brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles in Gabon, those things that may be broken or just not altogether completed. So, what my trip to Gabon revealed is that that we, at least I felt, I didn't arrive as an outsider. I returned as family. And this is about reconnecting, restoring, helping create a future where our people everywhere are connected again. And as Booker T. Washington says, start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. So this is where we start. Thanks. I hope that was enough.
That is amazing, Kevin. I mean, wow. I could spend the next 10 more minutes listening to what you had to say, but that was just powerful.
Thank
I
you.
just wanted to say that.
Thank you. All right. Who's speaking on the vision? I know
Francis,
that
Francis still with us?
Francis is going to talk on the vision. He talked a little bit about it so far. So,
So thank you very much, Kevin. And yes, Jean, we this was a very very good experience for us and for Kevin because we really at that moment we really reconnected, and this was a very this was the experience that really motivated us to move ahead, and we want to have other people to experience exactly the same thing. And I think that in any case, all those that are interested in coming to Gabon I think will feel that need to know more about the history, to know more about what happened, and also benefit from the really nice countryside and all the nice and beautiful things to see in Gabon and to meet. So, as Kevin said, Africa needs skilled people, and we need those all the energies to be concentrated on these African countries. So, our mission and our vision, as I said at the beginning, is really reconnecting the Afro-descendants with their African heritage. Okay, if some of them want to invest in Gabon or invest in Africa, because we have Ahmed that's there also that can help, because it's not just a question of Gabon, it's really a question of Africa. And I really appreciate Ahmed always being with us because things that we're doing now could be reproduced elsewhere and could help whole Africa, not just Gabon. So if we have some Afro descendants that are ready to invest, that want to see what they can do in terms of education, in terms of research. We have Singri that's there. There are so many projects, interesting projects. When I was the director of the Gabon Oregon Center, I saw so many interesting research capabilities, and Gabon is like an open sky laboratory. So anybody would really love to just go. If it's environment, if it's biology, there's just everything you need. There's we have 800 kilometers of seaside, so yeah, there's so many things to be done. So in terms of investment, yes, we can help, and the group that we've created is also there to really respond. If anybody has an interest or a particular interest, we can look into it and see how feasible it can be. So yes, so really our vision is really promoting sustainable development. Yes, sustainable, very very important. And as I said before, it's good to have a vision, but it's also good to be able to have an organization or things that will help us get our goals. And we have Jean and Just that have been really tightly working on really building this organization, and they come regularly to Gabon to be able going back and forth to really adjust our strategy and our vision. And this is how Jean came into the race, because Jean had already all these ideas before we met. And when we talked for the first time, it was like, it was like it was planned for us to meet, because Jean had exactly the same ideas as us, and his foundation is called Bridging the Gap, which is something which is our objective, bridging the gap. So automatically we saw, hey, let's join forces. If you have the same ideas as we have, better is for us to get together and work together. So I'll let Jean give us a little brief presentation of the foundation for us.
Yeah, so I am the founder of Ikaza, Bridging the Gap. Ikaza, it's a word in my native tongue, which is Fang. Ikaza means bridge. Bridging the gap to access, persistence, and attainment. Now, let me digress a little bit. When I first came in the United States, went through a whole bunch of paperwork. Eventually, I decided to pursue citizenship in the United States. And one of the avenues I used to obtain citizenship is what is called in immigration national interest waiver. So basically, what is my added value to the country to justify my seeking to become a citizen of the United States? What am I bringing to the table, right? So as I went through that process, it was really coming from the top of my heart that I wanted to sustain my community, bring what I had, right? As I was doing that, it was not just for my new country, the United States. It was really global, including African, right? So I thought to myself, yes, I am building, and my organization, it's a grassroots organization here in Stark County in Ohio. I work with minority low income first generation, trying to foster access to education, persistence, and degree attainment, providing early exposure to science, technology, engineering, math, and medicine. So at some point, as I'm established here in the United States, my next question is, how about back home? How can I use the bridge that I'm developing here in the United States for the empowerment of my people back home? And this is what basically caused me to actually start this conversation with Francis, Just, and many other people that, well, yes, we are thinking of connecting back to with Gabon slash Africa, but we have to think. Yes, we are connecting back, but when we come with assets, right? What are we bringing on the table to empower our community? As Kevin just said it, you have economic opportunities, right? You have entrepreneurship opportunities, right? It is really our job to close these gaps of access, of success, right? And this is where a CASA fits in, and where I really want to bring my partition, which is that, I want to be able to contribute in spite of the fact that, or despite the fact that I live thousands of miles away from home, I still want to have an impact right there where I come from, right? And this is where I hope that we can actually join our forces to actually get our mission to move forward.
Thank you very much, Jean. Thank you very much. And in the same line of perspectives, I'm going to introduce to you, I'm to talk to you about Philibert's Foundation. Alors, Philibert, comme on a une question de temps, j'aurais bien voulu que tu... Mais je pense que je connais bien la fondation, donc je vais le faire rapidement pour toi, en anglais, puisque, voilà.
D'accord. Mais je
Voilà,
voulais...
donc, oui.
D'accord. Je voulais juste expliquer un peu en allant dans le sens du professeur Jean Ngoong, voilà, qui disait qu'est-ce qu'il pouvait apporter en fait entre les deux communautés. Donc moi, je voulais expliquer un peu le nom de Amaya Mokini. En fait, le nom de mon agence, après tu pourras faire l'introduction. Amaya Mokini, en fait, c'est un nom en langue vernaculaire qui veut dire venez si vous êtes capable. En fait, c'est un peu la pierre philosophale de la culture téké. Et donc, lorsque nous avons fait notre premier festival, parce que la fondation, c'est la promotion de la culture et plusieurs qui dira le reste, nous avons...
Il faut que tu me laisses traduire parce que il faut que tu me laisses traduire un peu parce que sinon après je vais on va perdre.
Vas-y.
Okay. So Philibert says before I introduce explain the foundation, she wants me to explain because she is the owner of a travel agency that has a name. Excuse-moi, redonne-moi le nom de l'agence.
Amaya Mokini.
Okay, so the name of the agency is Aya Mokini, which means in
Amaya.
the Teke, Amaya, okay, which means in the Teke language, Teke is how do I say, ethnical group that is in the northeast of Gabon. C'est ça, no, southeast of Gabon.
Southeast.
East of Gabon. And this means, the meaning of this word is come if you are capable. C'est ça, non?
Oui.
Yes.
So she wanted to absolutely talk about this because this is very meaningful for her, because it means that the idea of the agency is having people that are willing to come back, help them come back, and accompany them in this process.
Voilà.
C'est bon,
Je te
Philippe?
laisse continuer,
And so she has the agency.
puisque on n'a pas le temps.
But on top of the agency, she's also a member of the foundation called Bongo Ayuma Foundation, which is a foundation that is specialized in the history of slavery. They work a lot with the Omar Bongo University and UNESCO. And this is very important because when Philibert and I met, she was the answer to a question that we've had for a long time in the group, because I remember the last time we had a Zoom session with Afro-descendants, we were talking about, these projects in investment, in economics, and one person raised her hand to say, okay, I understand that Africa needs to develop and etc., but I have a problem. My problem is I have a wound that needs to be cured. I have a historical need to be able to know exactly what happened before I invest myself in developing things, in developing Africa or Gabon. I need to know exactly historically what happened. And when I met the Bongo Ayuma Foundation, it just automatically I understood that this is the person we need, because as we are having Afro-descendants come back to their mother, they need to know exactly how historically their ancestors arrived in the US. So the Bongo Ayuma Foundation is going to help us when we will have Afro-descendants to come back to Gabon. They are going to help us with a circuit explaining historically and going to the different sites, very important sites in Gabon where the slavery was undertaken. So this is very interesting for us. And I would like to also tell you, but really shortly, that they have an event, a festival that they organize every year. And we are going to see, as we move on in our different meetings, how we can help them organize or participate in the organization of this festival, because we need events. Events will also help us gather people and have people come back together, because obviously as a group it is much easier than coming individually like Kevin and Mara did. So we will give you more information on the festival once things are more organized, but this is something we will look into very, very carefully. Donc Philibert, juste pour te traduire un tout petit peu, j'expliquais que notre rencontre a été très salutaire parce que justement beaucoup des Afro-descendants qui veulent revenir au Gabon et en Afrique ont besoin de savoir vraiment quelle est l'histoire et comment l'esclavage s'est passé. Et j'ai raconté l'histoire d'une dame lors de notre dernière visioconférence, lorsqu'on parlait de l'économie, lorsqu'on parlait de revenir investir en Afrique. Elle a levé la main pour dire que moi, écoutez, ça c'est bien beau, mais moi, dans un premier temps, j'ai une plaie intérieure qu'on doit d'abord soigner. Et c'est cette plaie, c'est de savoir comment mes ancêtres, comment nous sommes arrivés aux États-Unis, comment l'esclavage, l'histoire de l'esclavage. Donc j'ai expliqué que lorsque nous nous sommes rencontrés, nous avons tout de suite vu qu'il y avait une synergie possible et que la Fondation Bongo Ayuma pourrait nous aider à effectivement aider les Afro-descendants à mieux comprendre l'histoire et à faire un circuit, aller sur les sites, etc. etc. Et j'ai aussi annoncé que vous avez un festival que vous organisez depuis quelques années et qu'on va voir dans quelle mesure on peut vous apporter notre soutien et une participation. Lorsque les choses seront bien définies, on en reparlera lors des prochains Zooms.
Ok, je peux ajouter quelque chose. Nous sommes en partenariat avec le département de l'histoire de l'UOB. Donc, notre circuit mémoriel est validé par le département de l'histoire. Donc, voilà un peu. Les différents sites qu'on va visiter.
So she just was adding that they are in partnership with the Department of History of the University of Omar Bongo. So the circuit they are going to be presenting is something that's officialized and how do I say, and certified by the university.
Wonderful.
So thank you very much. So now we have about 10 minutes left. We are very happy. We'll be happy to answer any of your questions. And you can see this picture, which is very symbolic here. And I love this picture because when you say you want to go back to your motherland, what is best than to touch the land itself, the earth? And this is what Kevin did by planting this mango tree. And this was a very important event because he came to his land and he touched the
Is it
earth.
avocado or mango? Is it avocado?
I don't know. I don't remember.
It's
I think
avocado.
It was avocado. Okay.
I personally am touched by the avocado. So
Okay. So we'll go back. We'll have to go back to this place to see what has become your avocado. I promise. I will do that very soon.
good.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
now I know just wanted me to give sort of a quick historical moment for the Steal of Liberty. I don't know if you still want me to do that, or we'll just take questions and responses, and we can leave that for maybe the next time we do a meeting like this.
Okay. Any questions?
Oui, moi j'ai une question. Il a planté son arbre là où?
Ah, okay. Philibert is asking where he planted this tree. Alors, on était dans les plaines de Moutassou dans le sud.
Yeah.
Ah, d'accord.
Mouila.
This was in Moutassou, which is about a few kilometers away from Mouila, my hometown.
Yeah.
And he planted this tree. He planted this tree in the agricultural plot of my uncle, Tonton Henri.
It was a great honor. And the reason is because at this stage in life where I'm at, I realize a lot of the things that I do, that I say, that I move forward are not for me or the people in my generation. They are really for the next generation. I guess the way I say it is that I'm planting seeds of trees that I will not get a chance to see grow these days.
Ok. Alors Philibert, il rajoute que tout ce qu'il fait, en fait, c'est pas pour lui, parce que, bon, lui, il a un certain âge, mais c'est surtout pour les générations futures. Et qu'en plantant cet arbre, vraiment, il s'investit dans l'avenir, il s'investit dans les générations à venir. Puisque lui-même, il n'aura pas l'occasion de goûter peut-être les fruits de ces plantes, de ces graines qu'il a plantées.
D'accord.
While we are waiting for
Non,
questions,
je trouve son engagement, c'est bon.
I
Je
mean,
disais que ça prouve son engagement à se projeter dans l'avenir, c'est très bien.
Yeah.
He says that this shows how you're engaged in putting the future ahead of you.
True.
I mean,
True.
while we are waiting for questions, I think Kevin, you can say something about
You want the historical moment? Okay.
Yes, like 2, 3,
All
5
right.
minutes.
So anybody stop me? It's just some stuff that I put together. So this is the Steal of Freedom in Libreville. It's one of the most important monuments in Gabon, and it marks the exact historical moment when enslaved Africans were freed and Libreville itself was founded. Here's sort of a breakdown. The original freed slaves and the birth of Libreville is between 1848 and 1849. This particular monument commemorates the abolishment of slavery by France in 1848 and the liberation of enslaved Africans. So in 1846, the French Navy captured slave ships transporting Africans for sale. The enslaved Africans aboard were freed. In 1848, France officially abolished slavery throughout its territories. And in 1849, freed Africans were resettled in what became Libreville. A total 272 freedmen, women, and children helped establish the city, which is why the city is named Libreville, or Free City. It literally means a city founded by freed slaves. And that monument symbolizes that steel was created by Gabonese artist Minko Minzi. The sculpture shows a human figure breaking chains. It is an androgynous half man, half woman. This design symbolizes freedom for all enslaved Africans, both men and women, liberation from physical bondage, and rebirth of identity after captivity. The figure faces inland and always away from the sea, symbolizing someone has just arrived from a slave ship and stepped into freedom. This detail is intentional and deeply symbolic, and it faces power and history. The stele stands in the central Libreville near the presidential palace, facing the Atlantic Ocean. The presidential palace facing the Atlantic Ocean, near where freed slaves first arrived and settled. This placement links three forces: the sea, the land, and the state. And why it matters to Gabonese national identity is this still represents the founding event of the modern Gabonese capital. It honors the end of slavery, the survival of freed Africans, the founding of Libreville, and the birth of modern Gabonese identity. It is considered emblematic national monument.
Mhm.
Wow, magnificent. I think, Philibert, je sais pas si tu as suivi un peu.
Non, je
Et,
t'ai demandé.
oui, alors justement, il nous racontait, puisque c'est un des monuments qu'ils ont visité quand ils étaient là, et il expliquait l'histoire de cette stèle qui symbolise enfin l'abolition de l'esclavage en 1848. Et 1848, right?
1848, yes, and 1849. 1846 to 1849
Et
is the full
il
time.
expliquait que lorsque l'esclavage a été aboli, il y a eu un retour d'esclaves au Gabon, plus de 270 esclaves qui ont eu au Gabon, et d'où est venu le baptême de la ville de Libreville comme la ville de la liberté, Libreville. Voilà, voilà en gros, hein, si j'ai bien compris, si quelqu'un peut.
How many Gabonese already knew all the stuff that I already said?
I didn't know, honestly. I can't say.
All right, good.
I knew
I'm
most of
glad.
it.
I'm glad.
I knew most of it, but I didn't know the meaning of the steel.
Okay,
Yeah, I
good.
didn't. I was just because every time I go to Gabon, never really take the chance to relax, just drive by, But but it's good to actually hear it, the whole explanation, how the guy half male, half female, looking toward the
Right.
land rather than the sea, right? And the positioning of the steel is just amazing.
Facing power, which
Yeah.
is the palace. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, can you tell them? I know we've got 3 minutes. Francis, can you tell them the story of when we went there? Because they don't really allow pictures like this.
Before I do that, we have a person who just joined us, Fatima too.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, you arrived at the end of the Zoom session. But could you introduce yourself, please?
Bienvenue Fatimatou, c'est super que tu es là.
Hi. Merci, merci. Je suis Fatimatou Boussougou, gabonaise, vivant à Eugene.
Ok.
J'ai reçu le lien par Ken et puis je me
D'accord,
suis dit, je vais joindre pour voir de quoi il s'agit.
d'accord. Bon, mais
Je suis arrivée à la fin, mais c'est très intéressant
ok.
et je
Euh,
veux en savoir
de toute
plus
façon,
sur...
de- oui. Donc, de toute façon, la visioconférence a été enregistrée, donc vous aurez l'occasion d'écouter. et nous espérons que vous viendrez à la prochaine réunion qui sera organisée très très rapidement.
D'accord. Merci.
So before I answer, are there any questions? If there's no questions yet, I can explain a bit.
Pardon?
No, if we already arrived at the end of the video, and we were asking if there are any questions. If anybody had a question. No questions?
No. So share with them why that picture of me there with the steel is unusual and amazing.
Yes. So I had tried to with a tourist, an American tourist, to go and look at this a few years back, and we were practically chased away by the military. That are across the street. They told us that we could not take any pictures, we could not do anything. So we were kind of worried because when Kevin and Mara arrived, I tried before they arrived to call people from the presidency to make sure that we don't have the same experience. And actually, I don't think from what I know, I don't think anything was really done. But Kevin and Mara just went there, and they were not chased away, and which is incredible because I don't recall getting information back from the people I called that they could go. So they just went there, and they went there, and there was no problem. Nobody chased them away. So yeah.
To fill in the story is as we were walking along that stretch of grass, and we were looking. We weren't going to stop there after what Francis said, and one of the guards stood up over the whatever you call it, the wall, and said that if you wanted to, that it's perfectly fine. Go ahead and take pictures. After they explained these are Americans that are come here to visit, they said go ahead and get pictures, which I guess is usually unusual. Because the palace protects its line of sight.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. So we're just about done. One last word. Once again, I insist on asking everybody. We will probably post the next video conference, and we'll see the. I really ask all of you to see how we can bring more people in the group, Afro-descendants, Diaspora, I'm afraid there's not a lot of people from Gabon, only Philibert and I. But next time, I assure you, we will have more people from Gabon also. And so as we continue having the same vision, we need to have more and more people, because more there are people, more we can really get things going and getting results. So that should be our first objective, is getting people to join. And
I would like to add to the end of that, this video in about a week will be on Learning About Africa YouTube site. So you can send people here to view it.
Okay. So
excellent.
I think we have had a nice time together, and this gives us even more courage to continue. Let's continue building forces. Let's continue gathering people, so that one day we'll be all in Gabon, and then we'll be all celebrating this vision that we have all had of bridging the gap.
Francis, I would like to say something before we end this meeting. I mean, we can say thank you in our native languages.
Yes.
Sorry.
Thank you, everyone. They got the English.
We can say thank you in our native languages.
Akiba.
Diboti.
Akiba.
Barka.
Yes. Okay.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much, guys, and have a nice Sunday for all those of you who are still in the US.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I look forward to the next time we do this. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Bye now.
Bye, everybody.
Listening to the chains fall and the sound like a waterfall of freedom allows me to bow on my knees, freeing long awaited, long suffering. What days did we have? Those of our ancestors from the pain that when they placed the chain on